Hello Pokemon fans, this is Electric Type, and I know what you guys want. You want another Wi-Fi battle, so I got one for you, and it's against Bonifide3. I'm gonna lead with my Amber, because she rocks, and he leads with his Red Roger. And Amber can take anything that the Red Roger has, because she is packing a Focus Sash. So Red Roger just bullet punches. Amber survives with 1 hit point and goes for the Stealth Rock, because that's what she does. Now, I'm thinking that he doesn't have any rocks to set up right now, so I'm thinking I'm going to be okay. So I pull Amber out of there, send in the Joker to take that next bullet punch, because I figure I can use her later. He switches out into his M Bison, and the Joker sets up a Reflect. The Bison goes for a Fire Blast, and Joker's weak against that, but the Joker is very defensive, very bulky, so he's going to survive with 18 and set up that light screen. Now, normally I always click Explode, but in this case, there's nothing that's going to happen. You know, he's going to take me out no matter what. He's always going to outspeed. So he just U-turns for some damage and goes out into his Suicune. Mystical. And I hate Suicunes, but this is the best circumstance because he brings it out and then I get to pick what I switch into. So I decide to use Amber before he gets a chance to set up some rocks and kill her. So I send her in, go for the Rock Slide just to get some damage. It's not very much, but it does keep her from setting up. She could have set up on this thing all day long and swept my team, but having Amber out there just makes her want to go for that Surf before anything happens. Now I go into Gambit and just go for the Outrage. I want to get as much damage as possible, get locked into that Outrage, and just take this Suicune out. You know, it's almost a suicide move for Gambit this early in the game, because I know that he has the Scissor to go into, but not a big deal. Mystical stays in and goes to the Ice Beam, but thanks to the Joker, I'm behind a light screen, and that's not going to hurt Gambit too bad. Gambit's locked into the Outrage and goes for another one, and that's going to take out Mystical. He goes back into the Red Roger. I'm expecting the Bullet Punch, but at this point, I'm locked into Outrage. There's nothing I can do. And he's just going to Bullet Punch for the kill. You know, sort of a short run for Gambit this game, but it was worth it to get rid of that Suicune. Now I go into my new favorite poke, Chubz. He switches out into his Violator, and I didn't over-predict. I just went for the Fire Blast, and it works out for me because Chubz is maximum special attack EVs, Life Orbed, and that's just going to deal a ton of damage to anything that doesn't resist it. So that Gliscor is going down. He goes back into his Bison, and I'm expecting an Earthquake because I know that M Bisons carry Earthquakes. I go into my Royal Flush because I know that he can take it and hit this thing with an Outrage. It'll be super effective. It'll definitely kill it. It'll definitely outspeed. But the Earthquake is going to kill Royal Flush because he gets a critical hit. So there my light screen wears off. I go into my Gravy because I know Gravy can take an Earthquake no matter what. But he doesn't even have to because he outspeeds, hits his Bison right in the freaking face with an Ice Beam. Super effective. That's a dead Flygon. Now he goes back into his Red Roger. He Bullet Punches, and that's going to do a good bit. But Gravy can take hits from most Bullet Punches. Goes for the Earthquake. and it doesn't kill. I get him out of there. I send my Chubz back in because I know he's going to bullet punch to try and finish off Gravy. So I predict that, go to Chubz to take it like a champ, and I know he's going to switch into something. He's not going to leave that scissor in. I don't know what. So I just go for the Earth Power because that's going to hit anything that doesn't have Levitate. I freaking luck out. He switches into his own Chubz, Mr. Hyde. He doesn't have... At this point, I'm scared of that berry. There's a berry that these pokes usually carry that weakens Earth-type moves, Ground-type moves. And but he doesn't have it, and I kill. He switches into his Loom, his Great Loom, which I don't think it's that great at this point, because it's not going to take a Fire Blast from a Chubz. And at this point, I know he's got one poke left, and I know that Chubz is going to be able to deal with it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have switched a Breloom in anyways. Oh yeah, I knew what it was. It's a Red Roger. And I could have went for the Fire Blast. I could have went for anything, but I decided to be a dick, finish off with a bang, and just freaking explode. Take out his Red Roger. And that was a great game. My new Pokemon Chubz really knows how to sweep. I think he's going to be on my team for a while. And that was a great game, Bonifide3. I don't think he has a YouTube channel, but if he does, I'll post the link below. And Chubz wants you to subscribe, bitches.